Good morning, this is Body Soul Yoga with me, Faye. Thank you so much for joining me. We're going to start in a moment. I'll just wait for a few more people to arrive. You've probably seen that today's focus is on the core. So we are going to be working the abdominals and the back as well. So if we work the front body, we always need to balance and use the back body as well. It's just as though we use the right side, we also need to balance with using the left side. Okay, so today you will need just a yoga mat and a yoga block if you have one. If you don't have a yoga block, maybe grab a lightweight book that you can squeeze between your knees a little bit later on. Okay, and yes, you may need a glass of water. I actually need one, so I'm just going to grab that, and I'll see you back here in about 30 seconds, ready to start. Okay, so I've got my water. I hope you've got yours too. So welcome to the 9:30 core strength yoga practice today. We're going to flow, we're going to use the core, and I'd like us today to start in child pose. And we start in child pose because I want to remind you that if you need to release your wrists at any point, or if you need to just take a break, then this is a posture to find. So take your knees a little way apart, maybe slightly wider than your hips. The big toes touch. Aim to put your bottom towards your heels, and the forehead aims for the ground, or you can place your fists underneath the forehead to give you a little bit more space. You can take the arms long beside you to release the shoulders, or you can stretch out your arms a little bit here. And let's just start with a little bit of a centering. Just focusing on how we feel this morning. So just turning your gaze inwards. And let's start with a moment to put the morning behind us. And let's start with 3 deep breaths, in through your nose, out through your mouth. A couple more of those as you surrender the weight of your body to the ground beneath you. And then let your breath go completely and focus on your body. Allowing the body to melt and soften into the ground. Let's take a nice big in-breath. Start to walk your hands forward, so you're really stretching the arms, the back and the upper body. So walk your fingertips away from you, create a lovely long spine. And then if you want to accentuate the stretch, make it deeper onto fingertips. Again, melt the heart to the earth and the armpits down. Let's take an in-breath, come to all fours. Make sure the hands are just a little bit ahead of the shoulders. Spread the hands nice and wide. Knees are under the hips. Tuck your toes under. Let's take our first downward facing dog. So it's a blissful dog. So pedal really slowly. Alternate heels to the ground. So notice how good it feels to be upside down. Lovely way to wake up. And then let's make the dog a little bit longer. And then we're going to take some rolling dogs into rolling planks. So keeping your chin tucked in, lift your heels, start to round the back and bring the weight forwards and the shoulders over the wrists. And then come to a lovely plank position, a lovely line with the body. And if you feel you need to shuffle the heels back, push those heels away now. And then tuck your chin in around your back again, coming back into a lovely long dog. And do bend your knees if you need to lengthen your back. And then we round again, so up to the tiptoes, rounding back to your plank position. Now, if this isn't working for you, you can take some cat and cows, rounding and then lifting. But if you're happy to do that, let's continue with downward facing dog, rolling into plank position and rolling back into your down dog. So nice fluid movement, feel the spine really working and drawing that core in. So feel as though as you come to plank position, you are tucking the tummy in and up towards the back of your spine. Let's take one more, rounding into plank and then coming into, so rounding into dog and then into your plank position. Well done. Let's just drop to the knees and shake out the wrists. Let's take a cat balance now. So with our hands just ahead of the wrists and shoulders again, we're going to bring the knees together and stretch the right leg out behind us. The leg can just be up to about hip height, no higher needed at the moment. And then if you're balanced, you can stretch the opposite left arm forwards. So cat balance, again, draw the tummy in and up, pull up the pelvic floor, and make sure you're breathing. So lovely full deep breaths will help to fan your internal fire, and you should be feeling this warmth in the very core into the solar plexus, Manipura chakra. Now if that feels nice and steady for you, we're going to add a crunch. So bringing the elbow to the knee and then lengthen again. If you're feeling wobbly though, you can bring both hands down and just bring the knee in. Exhale to crunch, inhale to expand and lengthen. 4 more. Fantastic. Return to your lovely cat balance. A few more breaths here. Find length across the diagonal line from your left fingertips to your right pointed toes. And then release it down. Well done. Let's take the other side. The left leg starts to extend back. Feel free to keep both hands on the floor and just crunch. Or you extend your right arm forwards, palm in, thumb up. Keep breathing here. Feel nice and solid through the back, through the abdominals. And let's add a crunch. Exhale, crunch elbow to left knee. Stretch and lengthen. Crunch again and lengthen. Nice deep breaths. Keep going. 2 more. Finish in your cat balance. Nice long extension. And let's release down. And keeping your bottom nice and high, let's bring the elbows down to the ground, open them up, pop your forehead on the ground and start again to stretch out your arms, really lengthening into your spine, the middle of the shoulders. And let's really crunch the hands into nice tight fists and then open the hands nice and wide, just getting some circulation back in the hands, the wrists easing out. And then we can turn the palms up to the sky and then out to the sides, so just rolling the wrists as you ease them out. Well done. Coming back into your downward facing dog. And let's take a lovely step forwards into extended forward fold. So you can keep the knees a little bit bent and just bring the hands up to the shins. Pull the tummy in, find length in the spine. And bend the knees and come and stand. Well done. Let's create a little bit more flow. We're going to take Surya Namaskara A, sun salutation. When we're in our planks, we're going to hold for 5 breaths. Okay, so just take a couple of breaths into Tadasana. Notice how you feel. Okay, take an out breath, a big breath in, stretch to the sky. Nice and tall, or add your back bend. Bend the knees, swan diving down. And a big breath in as you lift yourself up a little bit. Hands on the floor or on your shins again. Nice flat hands, a big stride back into plank. Let's take 5 breaths here. Squeeze the heels away, tummy tucking in and up. Hands nice and grounded, shoulders pushing away from the earth. 5 long breaths, so my 5 long breaths, but if you're already there, you can now move through your vinyasa. So let's start with a soft one. Knees, chest, chin, just keep drawing the tummy in, squeeze the elbows in towards the ribs, pop your tummy down, and then a beautiful cobra position, or slightly higher if your back allows. Roll the shoulders back and down, and feel the back body bending and the front body lengthening. Pushing up to down dog again, adjusting the feet and hands. Let's take another 5 breaths here. And if your back is rounding, remember, bend your knees, push your chest towards your thighs, find length in the back. The main purpose of down dog is to lengthen your back. And really breathe nice and fully here. From the nose, bring the breath into the middle of your shoulders. And then you can work towards straightening the legs. So after your 5 breaths, look through between your hands, return to extended forward fold. Exhale, fold, release the head and shoulders. Lovely full breath in, reach for the sky. Hands to prayer position. Let's take another round. Exhale, inhale, reach for the sky, folding forwards, looking up and lengthening. And let's hold our plank positions again. Now feel free to drop to the knees if you need to. You can also be on your forearms if your wrists aren't enjoying this. Keep breathing nice and fully. Squeeze your heels back. Pull the tummy in. Well done, and come to your vinyasa. So either knees, chest, chin, or now a full chaturanga press up, elbows in, hover a little bit, and then coming into your upward facing dog, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here as well. So try pushing into your index fingers, really activate your forearms. If you want to pedal out the heels, you can feel a bit more free. Again, bend the knees if you need to lengthen your back. This becomes your resting pose. Looking through between your hands, return forwards to extended forward fold. A nice big breath in here. Exhale, forward fold. Big breath in, reach for the sky. Hands to prayer position. So to our Surya Namaskara A, we're going to add some mountain climbers in plank position. So take an out breath, big breath in, stretch to the sky. Add your back bend, take your forward fold. Inhale, look up and lengthen. And then we're going to hold again the plank for 5 breaths. So nice and solid, tummy tucking in and up. And then we're going to climb the mountain really nice and slowly. So bring your right knee in towards the chest and then return to plank. The left knee coming in, let that foot and knee hover from the ground, return to plank. Right knee coming in, feel the power in the arms and shoulders, back to the plank. Left knee coming in, foot back on the floor, and the right knee coming in, let that leg hover. Getting nice and warm now, left knee coming in, hold and hover, plank 2 more. Fantastic. Back to plank. Vinyasa, you can keep it soft if you need to. Otherwise, chaturanga. Take your chosen back bend. There's no rush. Enjoy the back bend. And then your down dog for 5 breaths. Remember, you can rest in child pose whenever you need to. Lovely full deep breaths here. Really feel the flow of energy, the flow of breath into the ribs, into the belly, into the chest and into the back. And let's look between the hands. Return to extended forward fold. Exhale, drop the head. Inhale, reach for the sky. Hands to prayer position. A couple of breaths here. Notice how you feel. Well done. Okay, the next round, when we get into our plank, we're going to add some side planks. So take an out breath. Big breath in, reach for the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Look up and lengthen. And then hold your plank position. So your central plank position. And I want you to take your feet so that they are hip distance apart. Breathing here. Feel that center nice and strong. Okay, side plank, we're going to turn onto the sides of the feet. So inner edge of the right foot, outer edge of the left foot. Push the hips forwards. Stack the left shoulder over the left wrist and reach your right arm up into the air. Working the obliques here, that's the side of your trunk. If you feel the hips are dropping, lift them up a little bit more. Well done. Come back to the central plank position. Feel nice and strong here. And then the other way, so turning onto the outer edge of your right foot, inner edge of your left foot, and bring your left arm nice and high. Apologies, I have my back to you. Power into that right arm and wrist. Bring the breath in. Well done. Return to your central plank position. Let's vinyasa. So knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga press up. Coming into your backward bend. Downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. Push into your fingers and feel your fingernails growing as you pause here. And it can be a blissful dog or a nice static still one. And then hide your heels. Make sure you can't see the heels of your feet. So shuffle the feet if you can. That will give you a lovely even stretch along the whole of the back of your legs. Look through between your hands. Return to extended forward fold. Exhale, drop the head. Inhale, reach for the sky. Hands to prayer position. Take a couple of breaths here. Notice the heat you're starting to generate. Well done. Okay, when we are in our plank position this time, we are going to come down into an elbow plank on our forearms. And then we're going to come up to plank and back to the forearms. So take an out breath. Big breath in, stretch to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Find your plank position where we hold for another 5 breaths. And really feel as though you're squeezing your thighs together, so activating the inner thighs, and that's going to help support your lower back. And then we're going to lower ourselves onto the forearms. And when we're a bit lower down, it's tougher. Gravity is pushing harder, and this is tough on shoulders and the core. And then we're going to walk. So bring your right hand back to the ground, then the left hand back to plank. Then the left forearm down first, and then the right forearm, and push into the left hand, and then the right hand to get up, and then right side down, right side up. Left side down, left side up. Right side, and the left side. And the right side, and lastly the left side. Well done. Let's take a vinyasa. I'm going to keep mine soft this one. Lower yourself down. Enjoy that lovely back bend. Open heart center. Coming to down dog. Let's pause here. Get your breath back. Nice, deep, full breath. Well done. Look through between your hands. Return to extended forward fold. Look up and lengthen. Exhale, drop the head. Inhale, reach for the sky. And take a pause in Tadasana and notice how you feel. I'm expecting that you have a lovely glow. Let's take a break for the wrists and do give them a little bit of a shake out if you need to. We're now going to take a balance, so if you're feeling a bit wobbly today, you can grab your chair. So here's one I prepared earlier. But you can hang onto your wall, you can use the kitchen bar or wherever you are, or the edge of your bed, okay. So only if you need the chair, you just take it to the side. We're going to bring the weight into the left foot, and this is our big toe balance. So you're going to bend your right knee. And initially you can hug that knee, give the toes a little bit of a point. So just notice how it feels to balance. Spread the toes of your left foot. Okay, so big toe balance. We reach for our big right toe. So if you know the yogic toe lock, you make your pistol fingers with the index finger and the middle finger. And you're going to thread those fingers through the big and second toes. Pads of the thumbs meet the index and middle fingers, and then with a lovely straight spine, you're going to start to lengthen your leg ahead of you, straightening it where possible, but do keep it bent if that's not working for you. So I'll come side on as well, so you can see we have a bit of length in that right leg, and we are holding there ahead of us. Okay, so you should be feeling that lovely stretch in the whole back body. Keep your shoulders nice and soft. And because we're working the core, we are going to now let go of the foot, but try and keep the leg exactly where it is. So nice and high if you can. Keep that foot there. Keep the breath coming in. Feel those quads working. The lower abs working to help keep that foot lifted. My leg is starting to drop. A couple more breaths here. And then a nice full deep breath in as you lift that foot really high and then release it down and give your legs a little bit of a bash out. So again, you can change your chair or change sides now. So the weight's coming now into your right foot. So you can bend your knee and hold it, and that can be enough for you, that's fine. If that feels okay, you're taking your yogic toe lock, taking the big left toe. If that is uncomfortable, you can also take the outside of your foot, which I should have mentioned before. But you're going to have a nice straight spine and work towards lengthening your left leg now. Keep breathing. With the big toe balance, if you can, just release the hand as you balance. And then we're going to release the foot and hold the leg nice and high. Feeling that leg working and the core working. Draw the core in, keep lifting. Again, nice and heat generating. Harder than it looks. And a big breath in, lift the leg higher and release it and shake out the legs. So if you join me this week for our isometric stretching and our quad work, that should be nice and solid now. Thighs of steel. Well done. Let's start flowing again. And we're going to come and take some side stretches in a moment in some triangles. But take an out breath, a big breath in, stretch to the sky, take a back bend, take a forward fold. Breathe in, look up and lengthen. And let's hold our planks again. Okay, so this time bring the feet together. Push into your heels and almost feel as though you're squeezing your thighs together. I'm going to take a three-legged plank position. So lift your right foot and cross the lower leg over, cross the upper leg over the lower leg at the lower leg. So underneath the knee, near to the ankle. Just find that power in the arms. Pull the tummy in to protect your lower back. You can squeeze the legs and the glutes as well. Let's bring the toes back to the ground and bring the left leg on top of the right lower leg. At the lower leg position just above the ankle. Make sure you're still breathing. Well done. Pop the feet on the ground. Take a vinyasa. You can keep it soft or chaturanga. Flowing up to your downward facing dog. And notice how that feels, that lovely resting position. After time, that will feel gorgeous. Lovely lengthening into the back and hamstrings. So feel as though you're trying to tilt your pelvis back. Sit on the ceiling. And let's look between the hands, step forwards, extend your spine, drop the head, exhale, inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart center, Anjali Mudra. Notice how you feel. Okay, let's work into Hatha triangle now. This will help to tone your obliques and your waist. So your feet just slightly wider than your hips. Big toes point forwards and keep your hips and your chest facing the side of your mat. Take a lovely big breath in and stretch one arm nice and high. You can mirror me. So you might have your right arm stretching up. And then we're going to slide the left arm down the left leg and ease over into our Hatha Yoga triangle. Just feel that lovely stretch to the upper body. And then let's stack this right hand above the shoulder and just push that hand back. Just breathe here and draw your tummy in. And find length in your spine, so if you need to just reach up to the ceiling a little bit more. So make sure the neck feels nice and long. You can turn and look to your upper thumb to strengthen the neck as well, but keep your shoulders nice and soft. And use your out breath to take yourself a little bit deeper down into the stretch, into your triangle Trikonasana. And a big breath in, ease yourself back up, stretch nice and tall and reach up with your left arm to meet the right, so you're stretching to the ceiling. And then bring your right arm down towards the leg and let's stretch tall again and start to lean over to the right side. Make sure you're breathing still. It is harder to breathe, your lungs are compromised. A little bit squished at the lower right lung. Okay, bring your left arm nice and high, stack it above your shoulder and push that arm back. Nice long neck. You can turn and face that left thumb, hand that's above you. Push strongly into both feet. Lift a little bit higher towards the sky with that hand. And a big breath in, let's come out of that and release. And let's take another soft forward fold just to counterbalance those side stretches. So bend your knees and just enjoy that lovely forward fold as you release your back. Give your head a nod and a shake. Notice how that feels, well done. Let's slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time as you breathe in. Come up and your head is coming up last. Roll your shoulders back, shake out your legs. And then we're going to just release the wrists with a forward fold. So effectively we're going to stand on our hands. So just start with your hands in your waist, bend your knees. Draw the tummy in and take a half forward fold. So nice flat back. And then take your hands nice and open, palms facing up. thumbs in towards one another. And as you bend and bring your body to your thighs, bring your hands right underneath both feet to lift the toes, and bring your toes right up to your wrist creases. And then bring weight into the palms of the hands. So the feet are about hip distance apart to give you a little bit more balance. And then push all of the toes down into the hands. Feel that lovely stretch in the back of the wrists. And then if you straighten your arms, breathe in, look up and lengthen, and then bend your elbows and bring your body closer towards your thighs. And you can keep your knees bent, and then you can work towards straightening your legs. So wherever you need to be, just feel that lovely back body stretch. Maybe tuck your tummy and see if you can get any lower down. And feel the shoulders softening. Space created between each vertebrae. And again, a lovely inversion to get the rush of blood and oxygen to your brain, and fantastic for your complexion, waking up your face. Okay, breathe in, look up and lengthen again. Bend your knees, body thigh contact, hands into the hip creases. And let's take a lovely big breath in as we come up to stand. Well done. We're going to flow now and take a few back bends, and then we're going to take some abdominal strengtheners on our backs and seated. Okay, take an out breath. Big breath in, stretch to the sky, add your back bend. Take a forward fold, exhale. Breathe in, look up, lengthen your spine. Briefly taking a plank position and just lower yourself to the ground. Point the toes and bring your arms along beside you. We're working into locust pose now. So the most important thing is that you don't look left or right once you're up, so you keep your neck nice and long. And I want you to just make sure that you do feel straight in your spine. So push your pelvis down, lift the chest, and just feel as though you're pulling yourself forwards towards the front of your mat. The big toes are touching. Let your heels drop out to the sides. But if you need a bit more space in the sacrum, part your feet a little bit and create a flopping out of those ankles and heels. When you're ready, we're going to push the pelvis down. Feel as though your spine is lengthening. So move forwards first towards the front of your mat. So you elongate your spine. And when you're ready, big breath in as you lift the chest and shoulders, the hands, the arms, the feet, the thighs, resting on the pubic bone and the belly and the lower ribs. Feel as though you're pulling your fingertips towards your heels, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and the neck can be nice and long. Look to the floor. A few more breaths here. And release down, well done. And just rest on one cheek or the side of the temple. Let the shoulders be nice and soft. And just notice how comfortable the ground feels. Just make sure those heels are dropping out to the sides. Or if you're feeling comfortable turning your head to one direction, you can always bring your fingertips to the floor, cross the fingertips one over the other, and bring your forehead to the ground. Okay, and if you ever have any back issues or lower back pain, this is a wonderful releasing posture which will realign your hips and allow the lower back to recover. So maybe you spend 10 minutes morning, lunchtime and evening in this position to release any backache. Okay, let's take a Sphinx pose now. So you're going to walk your hands so that they're shoulder width apart. The elbows also shoulder width apart, and then you're going to bring the elbows directly underneath your shoulders. And if you feel the shoulders are compromised, move the elbows out slightly so that you're nice and wide across the collarbones and across the chest. And if that feels too high for you, just bring the elbows further away so that you lower yourself down. Okay, so I can't see if you're doing this right. I need to trust you, and even if you were here with me in the studio, I wouldn't be able to tell. So I need you to be honest with yourself. So I need you to push your pelvis down into the ground, and then feel as though you're lifting your belly button off the ground, maybe a little ladybird crawling under the belly, so don't squash it, just squeeze your belly button in and up, find length in the front body, so lift the ribs, lift the heart, chin a little, lengthen the legs but keep the toes on the ground, and almost feel as though you're pulling your hands backwards, so really strike forwards as well as up, and nice soft shoulders and a nice long neck as you pause here in Sphinx. You can make it nice and active if you want to. Nice deep breaths coming in. Just feel that strength in the back and that lovely long front body. Creating a flexible core, lovely strong spine and really adaptable abdominal muscles. Well done. Let's bring our hands back under the shoulders and lower the chest and give a nice push up and back into child pose. Nice wide knees, big toes touching, and just counterbalance that back bend and release the forehead towards the ground, or fists one on top of the other like one potato, two potatoes. So just release it down. Just take a moment, notice how you are. Okay, well done. We're going to take now some seated abdominal workouts. So if you do have a block, you can grab that, or a lightweight book. Don't worry if you don't have one, you just have to squeeze a little bit harder with your knees. We're going to take our boat variation to start with. So if you've got your block, pop your block between your knees. Feet nice and flat on the ground. Use your hands, pull against your knees and lift your heart so you achieve a lovely straight spine with beautifully soft shoulders. And if you can keep your back nice and straight like that, just release your arms out ahead of you, palms in, thumbs up. And give your knees a bit of a squeeze together, activating the inner and outer thighs. Okay, keep lifting here into the heart center. Nice soft shoulders, nice straight back. And just notice your in-breath, your out-breath, and any pauses in between. Okay, tuck your chin in, roll yourself down to a halfway position. Using the strength in our arms now, we are moving the arms slightly wider. Wider still. Keep breathing. Really nice and wide now. Hands higher than your shoulders. The weight of your arms is going to help to tone you. If you need more weight here, you can grab some hand weights, some tins of vegetables or beans. And then let's bring our hands to touch and a big breath in to expand the arms. So let's close the hands, expand the arms. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Two more. Bring your hands to prayer position. Take a pause, 4 breaths in the center. And a big breath in, come back to your start position, reset, squeeze your knees together and lengthen your arms out ahead of you, palms in, thumbs up. I'm hoping you are feeling that in your core, probably the upper core in the solar plexus, but also in your back, the mid-back, really working there to keep you upright. Well done. Okay, pop your block aside for a moment. Let's work the obliques. So chin tucking in now, ease yourself down, and when you're halfway down, I want you to bend your elbows, squeeze them in towards the body, lower yourself down, outer edges of your little fingers coming to the ground, and then lightly place yourself on your forearms. And if you feel uncomfortable, just shuffle those forearms a little bit closer. Okay, a big breath in, lift your left arm and cross it over your right leg. So left arm over the right leg, palm is out, facing the right hand side of your mat, and your weight is in your right lower arm. So the first variation is to just reach a little bit further forwards and then release back. So you can continue to do that if that's enough for you. Or if you're feeling nice and strong today, you're going to lift about 1 or 2 inches off the ground, that right forearm, keeping that twisting position. And then we're going to pulse up and down. Well done, 4 more. Fabulous. And then bring the right forearm down onto the mat. Just take a pause here. Okay, so you can either repeat the pulsing, or you can now lift the right elbow slightly off the floor and the forearm and bring the hands to prayer position in your twisted position. And then a big breath in as you expand the arms and tap the right little finger on the ground and bring your hands back to the heart center. So big breath in to expand the arms, coming to prayer position. Let's take 3 more. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, so 5 in total on that side. I think maybe that's 6. And then lower yourself back down. And then both forearms back on the ground. Take a few breaths here, notice how that made you feel. Nice and warm perhaps. Okay, right arm lifting up, cross it over the left outer thigh. You can either pulse, take 8 of those, or now lift and raise the left elbow and forearm off the ground. And we pulse a little bit higher, 8 of those. So just little movements, very effective. Feel those obliques work, and then lower yourself back down and take a few breaths here before we take our prayer position and expanded arm position. So I'll change position so you can see me on this side. Okay, so again, you are slightly lifting the left forearm off the ground, bring the hands to prayer position at the heart center. Big breath in, expand the arms, return hands to prayer position. 4 more, inhale, exhale, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Lower yourself down onto both forearms. Well done. Okay, let's extend the legs ahead of us. So the right leg is extending, the left foot is on the ground. We're going to raise the right leg up to about 30 degrees, hold it there. Raise it up to 60 degrees, hold it there. And 80 degrees, and then exhale. Lower that leg down and let the leg hover. Now, if your shoulders aren't enjoying this, lay yourself flat on your back to do this. So single leg raises, 30 degrees, exhale here, then to 60 degrees, then to 80 degrees, and lower that leg to a hover position. Really feels like that right leg is being pulled away from you. It's really beautifully long. 30 degrees, 60 degrees, 80 degrees, lower it down, let that leg hover. 1 more time. Okay, let the leg hover, 4 more breaths. Really feel that right leg nice and long. That leg getting nice and heavy now, so nice way to strengthen the lower abs now, and the back working strongly to support the leg. Well done, just let the leg release now, give it a shake. Maybe a wave of the foot as well to release the hips. Okay, other side, lengthen your left leg nice and long. Point the toe, let that leg hover. Just the shoulders if you're feeling uncomfortable. Okay, 30 degrees, lift, inhale, hold on the exhale. 60 degrees, nice long leg, and then 80 degrees, lower the leg to the hover position. Big breath in, raise to 30, breath in to raise to 60 degrees, and then to 80. Well done. Lower that side down. Let's take it again. And again. And really feel as though you're pushing the base of the spine in. Let's take 1 more. And then finish with 4 breaths. Well done. Okay, come now and lie on your back. I'll turn and face this way again. So lie on your back, ease yourself down. And then we're going to take some crunches. So bring your fingertips to rest lightly beside your temples. If your neck doesn't enjoy sit-ups, try using your mat as a hammock. So you take the mat beside your ears, and as you rise up, you can use the mat to help support your neck, and you can lower down like that. Or you can bring your hands across over your chest, and then you can pulse up and down. So just choose the position that's right for you. So when we breathe in, we're coming up. When we breathe out, we're coming down on this one. So crunches. Keep the neck nice and long. Okay, you can start with 4 and you can work up to 20 if you're joining me. Okay, so let's take an in-breath to come up. Squeeze your back into the ground. Exhale, lower yourself down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Keep that going. Feel as though you're pushing those solar plexus downwards into the ground. Okay, 10 more if you've lost count. I think there's 3 more. Well done. Lower yourself down, release your arms, give your head a little bit of a turn to release the head, the neck, the shoulders. And then bring your arms along beside you, take your feet off the ground, knees above your hips, ready for some curls. You don't need to jump off the ground, it's a simple easing in and out of the knees towards the chest. You're peeling your back gently off the ground. So this one is an exhale to bring the knees in, and inhale to release away. So just really nice, slow, gentle rocking of the lower back. It's going to start to engage your quads, your hip flexors, your psoas, your abdominals. If you feel you're really pushing strongly into your hands, take a zombie arm. The zombie arm is lifting up. And you might even want to try and tap your feet onto your hands. Don't tap the hands to the feet, it's the feet coming to tap the hands. Okay, let's take 5 more. Exhale, so come in, well done. And then give yourself a hug, well done. Maybe a nice tight hug if your neck and shoulders are happy. Notice how that feels. Bring your head and shoulders down, and this time we're going to apart the knees and the feet. Now if that feels uncomfortable for the hips, just keep the knees together. Interlace your fingers above you, pistol fingers, and an inhale as you reach back, tap the ground. Okay, let's take an in-breath, let's fire a gun between our feet, and inhale, release down. That's it. Exhale to come up on this one, and inhale, release down. So feel lovely breath coming in to expand the ribs. Exhale, coming up. Inhale, coming back. If you need to support the head, you can do with one hand behind the head. Exhale, coming through. Inhale, reaching back. Really squeeze the back into the ground and the lower back down. Notice where you're feeling that in your abs, in your back, in your neck, in the front of the throat. Okay, 1 more. Just take a pause, take a turn of the head left and right. You can keep your knees parted. Okay, we're going to hold and then we're going to pulse for 3, same position. So let's take a lovely breath in here. Exhale, pulse for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Big breath in as you come down. Exhale up and pulse for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Big breath in, coming down. Let's take 3 more of those. Pulse. Big breath in. Inhale, coming down. 2 more of those. Last one. Fabulous. Bring the knees in. Again, maybe some turns in the head to release the neck and the head. Maybe a nice tight hug. If you need to ease out the neck and shoulders, well done. Okay, yogic cycles, nice and slow. Hands gently behind the head. Okay, and do repeat any of the previous practices if that works better for you. You can take a simple crunch. Otherwise, we are twisting. We lift the head and shoulders, lengthen the right leg, twist the right elbow to touch the left knee, knees in, head and shoulders down. Nice and slow. Other side, lift, lengthen left leg, left elbow to knee, knee in, lower yourself down. Well done. Other side. Exhale up, inhale down. Exhale up, inhale down. Keep that moving. Slow and controlled cycling, a lot more effective. Notice what abdominal muscles and back muscles are working. A strong, strong core. Okay, 6 more. Fantastic. Give yourself a well-deserved hug. Well done. Pop your feet on the ground. Let's take the feet nice and wide and the arms nice and long, maybe up to shoulder height. And let's just take some gentle windscreen wipers of the legs. Ease the knees to the floor on the right, bring them back to center, ease them to the left. You can turn your head as well, the opposite direction to the knees if that's comfortable for you. Notice how good that feels. Easing out the lower back as well that you've been working strongly in your planks today. Getting the circulation in the base of your spine. Well done. Okay, and let's finish with a held bridge. So bring your arms long beside you, bring your feet hip distance apart and turn the toes in a little so the outer edges of your feet are parallel with the sides of your mat. If you've got your block, you can use it between your knees. Don't worry if you don't have one, just squeeze your knees together and push into the big toes and the inner edges of your feet. Okay, shuffle your shoulders under, reach your middle fingers towards your heels. Tilt your pelvis up, push strongly into those inner edges and raise up to a nice little bridge pose. So just lifting the hips as high as feels comfortable for you. And do protect your back. So if just coming halfway up feels good for you, then just do that. And if you feel your glutes are tensing, I want you to release them. It's the back and the core that's working here. Just soften your bottom, the buttocks. Just notice how that feels in the back. If you do need to support the back, then do squeeze the buttocks again. So be kind to yourself and listen to what your body needs. And this is also a front body stretch to elongate those core muscles you were working in the abs. So bring a big breath into the belly, the rib cage, and the chest and collarbones. Let's take a few more breaths here. Well done, and then ease yourself down. Do release your block away now and give yourself a hug. So a free posture now. What does your body need? A stretch, a twist, lengthen, and then it's fine to Shavasana. Okay, so legs straight, feet flopping out to the sides, palms up or on the belly. If your back doesn't feel nice, just bend the knees and bring the knees together. And just closing your eyes when you're ready, just finding a comfortable position, just so that all the energy you've created can be sent around the whole of the body where it's needed. And any toxins you've released can be sent to the organs that emit them from your body. Let's start with a few deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Sigh the breath away. 2 more of those. And then let your breath fall away and allow your body to just be. Sensing the space that you're lying in. And the space that your body takes up on the floor. And just notice your body strong, heavy, powerful. And tune in with the temperature of your body and where the body is feeling warm. And then allow the body to release and to let go. Feel supported by the ground beneath you. And give in to gravity as you relax now. Your body is restful and you are completely safe. So without disturbing yourself too much, bring your focus to your body once more and to the space that you're lying in. Notice your breath, and you may like to lengthen and deepen it, sighing away anything you no longer need. And then start to move your body, working into the toes and feet, fingers and hands. maybe a turn of the head, a stretch or a hug of the knees. Just listen to what your body needs. When you're ready, you can bend your knees. Slowly ease yourself onto your side and take a moment here to notice how you feel. Noticing your breath, your body and your emotions. And there's no rush, but when you're ready, coming up to sit with me in a comfortable seated position on the floor or on a chair. Let's finish with 3 breaths before we continue with our day. So sit nice and tall, a big breath in, reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, palms down the center line of the body. 2 more. Namaste. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a fantastic day and a great weekend. Don't forget you can watch this again at any time. Just go to the live playlists and you can pick and choose those that you want to do. And Lawrence is going to be putting on a special 15-minute ab workout over the weekend. So tune in. That's going to be going live this evening, so you can play it back whenever you want to. Okay, take care. Lots of love. Thanks so much for watching. Hi Renata and King Abdul Wahid. Thank you. Take care. Bye.